Hello guys and welcome all. This is Aspen Blue here at Live Long and Plant Stuff. Thank you so much for finding my little sapling of a channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. I will have some more content coming for you soon in relation to just plants in general, and I know I've got some time lapses in the mix for you too. But today's video, as you see, we will be repotting my Alocasia amazonica or Alocasia poly. This plant goes by a handful of names, but I just call her my Alocasia amazonica. It's really a lovely plant. It's native to Southeast Asia, I believe, and its hardiness zones are 10 through 12. Now, I live in Nevada. My hardiness zone is 9, so I definitely have the warmth for it, but not the humidity. So I don't think it likes me too much. Anyways, a little backstory though. I'm so in love with this plant, and I know that everyone is drawn immediately to these deep purple undersides and just gorgeous green, almost alien veins. I'll have some pictures of that come up here for you soon, but just a gorgeous plant. It is on the more finicky side of houseplants, so that makes me feel a little bit better. Side story though, I have had this plant for about a year now, and she's not dead, so that is awesome. She has already been repotted about 6 months ago. Now that repotting was more of an exploratory repotting. She was not doing well when I first got her, so I wanted to see what was going on. But she's been doing okay. No news is good news in my opinion, so I think it's time to put her in a proper pot. So here we are. I am going to be recycling some of her old soil. Now I do mainly replace it, but again, I just repotted her about 6 months ago with brand new soil. So I figured that was all right. Plus, we are going to be diluting it as well. I'm going to be adding some extra perlite as well as some succulent mix for us and some pebbles just to kind of give her some breathing room. She really was not happy in her old setup, which I think is why I'm part of the One Leaf Plant Club. So she only has 2 stalks left, each down to their last leaf. So here I am just adding some perlite into the mix. We're also going to be adding some bonsai jack soil, which I have spread over in a couple of pots. I'm just recycling here. And we're going to mix all of this up here as well. Here's my bonsai jack. Because I think her problem before, her soil was just staying wet too long. And it was also in a plastic pot as well. It was doing much better in the last potting I did. So she's had about 6 months, I think, to feel okay. But I know she's coming out of her dormancy, so I just want things to be good to go. Here I am taking a coffee filter, or part of a coffee filter, to place at the bottom to keep soil and rocks from falling out. Now this is the first time I am using this technique. I know a lot of people recommend using either pantyhose or the little screen meshes. I have neither of those. I do, however, have a lot of the wrong size coffee filter to use up, so that's what we used here. And here I am just kind of teasing her root ball. You never really want to mess with roots too much, especially this plant I'm kind of anxious to play with. But here I am using Bonsai Jack's little metal chopstick he sends with his soil, just to kind of tease up the roots here. I noticed that they were kind of growing in a spiral right there in the middle of the pot, so I just kind of wanted to get her a better established root system here. And here I am just trying to be really careful and to tease these up. I figure that's the best it's gonna get. Alright, so I think we've cleared her up a bit. She's ready to go in. We're just gonna make some room for her here. And don't be afraid to use kitchen utensils, guys. You do not need an extra tool for your plants, unless maybe you are using chemicals or things of that like. I'm just using plain old dirt here. So I am using a ladle that gets more use with soil than it does food, so here we are kind of filling her in. And she looks so like leggy too. My poor plant. So I really hope that the terracotta helps the drainage as well as the new soil. Because literally, it was months. I would go months without watering her because her soil still felt like moist to me and I was hardly doing any watering. So I love this plant so much, and I really want to get it down before I go and buy a beautiful new one with all new leaves. So here we are, we're just about done. I am patting her down. I speed this part up a bit because I get a little OCD. But ta-da! Thanks so much for watching. I'll have some pictures for you here soon. Alright guys, so here we are at our last looks at the Alocasia amazonica sitting happily in her new terracotta pot. I did want to leave you with some care tips. First of all, big disclaimer, the Alocasia amazonica is a toxic houseplant. So if you have any pets that like to get a hold or chew on your plants, then this may not be the right one for you. So please always bear that in mind when you're shopping for your plants. Now this plant is very finicky. There's a handful of things you need to look out. I am going to address spider mites first and foremost. So it's very important always that you dust your plants, you keep them nice and clean. But the shape of these leaves, I don't know why, but spider mites absolutely they love these plants. So what they do, and what they've done for this one, actually this one has had spider mites in the past, they like to hang out right underneath the base of the leaf right there. And you can tell they're there because eventually they start to leave kind of like a fuzz, almost like a very soft spider web sort of thing. So keep an eye out for spider mites. They feed on the cellular structure of the plants, I believe, so over time they'll just kill the leaf. So please watch out for that. Watering with this plant is also very finicky. Now, they are tropical plants, so they do like moisture, warmth, and humidity, all that kind of stuff, but please, this plant does not like to be on the overwater side, and honestly, that is probably why I'm in the position I am with this plant. So, well-draining soil, like we replaced here today, can help out with that, as well as the proper pot. Make sure you've got a drainage hole. Terracotta, which we used here, is porous, so it'll help absorb any excess moisture that might be hanging out in there. We don't want the plant to rot. And I'm definitely guilty of being a helicopter parent, so anyways, we don't want to overcompensate either, so don't let her dry out too much. They don't like that at all. Also, guys, don't forget to protect your furniture either. Plants are great, but they are wet and dirty. Most of my plants kind of just hang out in little plastic takeout containers, but please let me know if there's anything that I forgot, that I left out, if I can add for you, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know down below. But most of all, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and live long and plant stuff.